Good morning, class. Today I am going to start a new chapter, chapter number 6, Weathering and Soil Formation in class 7, Geography. Okay? You can refer to page number 54 for reference in your textbook. Now, the first topic that I am going to start is weathering and soil formation. What does the word weathering mean? Okay? Weathering means change. Weathering means change, or to make something change in its appearance because of the effect of the sun, air and wind. So weathering means breaking down or dissolving of rocks and minerals on the earth's surface. Once it is broken down, a process called erosion takes place after weathering. So weathering means change in its appearance by sun, wind and air. And after weathering, which process takes place? Erosion. Erosion means degradation. Erosion means eating away. Eating away, or it also means degradation or disintegration. So these two processes are responsible for the formation of soil. Soil formation means soil minerals, which forms the basis of the soil. And how do we get minerals in the soil? By weathering and erosion, They are produced from rocks. Wherever you go on the surface of the earth, you find rocks. There are different types of rocks, and from these rocks, you get minerals which are weathered as well as eroded by natural agents of denudations, which basically makes our soil very, very fertile. Now I am going to the main point, that is called introduction of weathering and soil formation. Introduction. The earth is the only planet which supports life, which bears the weight of our life and all living organisms. This is because the life-sustaining elements, the life-making elements or keeping elements such as land, water and air are present on the earth. The three main components, three main parts of the earth are land. Number one is land, which is also known as Lithosphere. Number two is water, which is also known as HYDRO, hydro, SPHERE, sphere. So lithosphere means the sphere of rocks, hydrosphere means the sphere of water, and the third one is called air. These are the essential, vital realms of the earth, without which we cannot sustain our life on the earth. So air means atmosphere, the sphere of air. The zone in which all living creatures exist is known as Biosphere. For this, we have to go to page number 54, and refer to your textbook, Please refer to your textbook on page number 54, Diagram of figure 6.1, Now I am rubbing the blackboard. Now, I'm making circles here. I'm making 3 circles here, which basically, meets or interacts or intersect with each other, Now, I'm writing here atmosphere. I'm writing here hydrosphere. I'm writing here, lithosphere. Okay. The place or the area in which all living creatures or organisms exist is known as biosphere. Now, biosphere is the place where all living organisms thrive or sustain their life. In this zone, the three main components of the earth meet. They meet each other, okay? They overlap each other, intersect each other, and interact means act together. Without which, okay, without atmosphere we cannot live, without lithosphere we cannot sustain our life or build houses also, without hydrosphere, that is water, we cannot, okay, sustain our lives. So these three spheres are interconnected with each other by the, okay, zone called biosphere. B-I-O-S, biosphere. Okay, this is the zone where all forms of life exist. If one of them is not included, okay, in this zone, if atmosphere is not there, then what will happen? If lithosphere is not there, what will happen? Or if hydrosphere is not there, then what will happen? If one of them is excluded or omitted or taken out from the composition of the earth, life in its present form, the life which is living in the atmosphere, like birds, etc., the life which is living on the lithosphere, four-legged animals and two-legged animals, like human beings, okay, and okay, animal kingdom, as well as in the hydrosphere, marine animals, can they survive? Life in its present form would disappear, vanish. They together sustain life, okay? Atmosphere, okay, plus lithosphere, okay, plus, okay, hydrosphere, okay, is equal to biosphere. So, without which, okay, without one element, we cannot survive. The Earth's surface has been going or undergoing continuous change, okay? It is continuously evolving. It is continuously changing day by day. Now also it is changing. Our land is changing day by day as a result of geological processes. Now, what is a geological process? Okay, geological process is a process existing or produced by nature. Now, it's the environment which produces geological processes like earthquakes, okay, volcanism or volcanic activity, okay, landslides, as well as subsidence. Subsidence means the land shrinking, okay. Today also it is raining. Now you find here rain is an agent of denudation. This rain basically changes the, okay, landform continuously, and it is going on from past millions of years. So this geological process, okay, is the factor, okay, which basically changes our landform. Due to what? Due to temperature. Temperature means degree of hotness and coolness of the air or of the atmosphere and the environment in which you are living, as well as pressure, okay. Pressure, I already told you in the previous class, okay. Pressure means force, okay, applied per unit area, okay. There are two types of forces that you have to understand in this chapter also, the internal as well as the external force. And you have studied that in class 6 also, and class 7 also. In the previous lessons you have studied exogenous and endogenous processes, okay, which are responsible for producing these changes on the Earth's surface. Now let us study internal and external processes in detail, okay. Now, there are two processes, internal, I-N-T-E-R-N-A-L, internal. Internal means, okay, endogenic processes. Endogenic processes are those forces. So, internal forces are those forces, okay, which originates, which is born, which is developed, or which starts from inside the earth or from within the earth, and cause mountains to rise, okay, cause mountains to rise, okay, like fold mountains and block mountains are formed by endogenic processes. Volcanoes to spew means, okay, basically spit or, okay, erupt or eject lava or molten lava. Molten lava means melted rocks, okay, and earthquakes to quiver, okay. Earthquakes to quiver means, okay, shake with fast, tremulous, okay, what we call movements, okay, and cause destruction. So earthquakes, volcanic activity, as well as, okay, as well as building of mountains, plateaus, valleys, etc. are all caused by the endogenic processes or internal forces. The second one is known as external forces, okay. The second one is known as external forces. E-X-T-E-R-N-A-L. External means exogenous, okay. We have studied that one in the previous class, I think so. Okay, it is also known as E-X-O-G-E-N-O-U-S. Okay, the previous one is known as endogenic. Endogenic or endogenous, okay. You can say endogenous or endogenic. The previous one is internal is endogenic, whereas this is exogenic, okay, or exogenous, okay. External forces are those forces which level the landform, which makes the land even. Okay, it basically, okay, rectifies the irregular shape of the land, smooths the land, okay, or landforms on the earth, like mountains, plateaus, and plains, also valleys, etc. Okay, there are different types of physical landforms that you find on the earth, which are shaped by the external forces, by agent of, okay, denudation. By agent of change or denudation. D-E-N-U-D-A-T-I-O-N, denudation, okay, by agent of denudation. Now, what are the agents of denudation? Flowing river, that you can refer in your book only, okay, it's known as flowing rivers, or water or rain, blowing winds, as well as moving ice and glaciers, and splashing of the seas on the rocks near the oceans or seas. In short, this force is not only wear. This force is not only W-E-A-R, wear. Wear means damage or deteriorate or worn through excessive use. Like when you use the same kind of cloth every day, what will happen to the cloth? And even the shoes that you wear in the school uniform, what will happen to the shoes? The shoe, okay, will depreciate or deteriorate. The color of the shoe as well as the shirt you are wearing, okay, every day, the color will fade. So it will get worn out. It will get worn out. In short, this forces not only wear, not only deteriorate or damage or worn out, okay, the surface of the earth, but also remodel the surface of the earth, okay. But also it remodels, okay. Remodel means, okay, basically it reconstructs or reforge, it rebuilds the land. So internal forces is the forces which makes mountains to rise, okay, volcanoes to erupt, earthquakes to quiver, okay, as well as many landforms like plateaus, etc., okay, plains, etc., are created. But to make that land smooth, okay, to remove the irregular shape of the land, external forces are the forces which makes that land beautiful, okay. Now, we have finished with the introduction, okay. The second point that we are going to study is interior of the earth, okay. Now, I am rubbing the blackboard, okay. The second point after introduction is I-N-T-E-R-I-O-R, interior of the earth. Now, the interior of the earth, interior means, okay, what we call is, in Nepali it is called Bhitri, Bhag. Bha Akar, okay, Z, bhag, okay? Bhitri bhag. The inside part of the earth. The inside part of the earth is also an important, okay, topic that we have to study in weathering and soil formation. Okay, this is part of the second point of the introduction. Okay, so in the interior of the earth, the first point that we are going to study is the crust of the earth. Okay, what is the crust? Crust means the tough outer covering of the earth. Okay, so the crust of the earth is the hard layer. It is the hard layer, L-A-Y-E-R, layer, covering the earth on its surface. It covers the earth. So the earth is covered by the crust, C-R-U-S-T, crust. And this crust is formed from 0 to 100 kilometers. Okay, from here to 100 kilometers up till here, I think so. Okay, the hard layer covering the earth on its surface is called the crust, and this crust is also known as L-I-T-H-O-S, lithosphere. Litho in Greek means rock. So litho in Greek, okay, lithos in Greek means rock. It is made up of rocks. So wherever you go on the surface of the earth, you find different types of rocks. If you go to the mountains also, you find rocks. If you go to the plains also, you find rocks. If you go on the road also, you find rocks. So our land is made up of rocks. This rock is known as lithosphere. It is also known as crust. Is a solid, okay, and rigid layer of rocks. It's a solid means what? Excuse me, firm. It's solid means firm and stable. It's a stable, okay, what we call it, ground, which is made up of rocks. Okay, and which is rich in silica. Which is this crust. Okay, in this crust, what kind of minerals do you find? You find silica. Okay, as the, okay, what we call the chemical element, okay, composition is Si, I think so. Okay, and what you find in the crust, aluminum is known as Al. Okay, the valence is known as Al. So this layer is known as SiMa. Okay, okay, SiAl. Cl. But if you go a little bit deeper in the crust, okay, you find, okay, silica plus magnesium also. Silica plus magnesium. Magnesium. You find magnesium means Mg. So silica plus magnesium you find here. Okay. So it is known as SiMg. Okay. Sigma. Okay. So after this we are going to study the second layer, which, okay, basically makes the, okay, layer of the earth. Okay. That is known as, okay, I am rubbing the blackboard right now. Now the second layer is known as mantle. The mantle is a thick layer, okay, which lies, okay, below the lithosphere. Below the crust you find mantle, okay. You can refer to your book on page number 55 in figure 6.2, structure of the earth. You can see the mantle. It basically ranges from 100 kilometers to 2,900 kilometers, sorry, okay, deep. Now, if you look at the mantle is a thick layer which lies below the lithosphere. The average thickness of the mantle is from 100 kilometers to 2900 kilometers, okay, and consists of solid basic rocks rich in iron. Iron means Fe, and magnesium, Mg, okay. So in the mantle, what you find? Iron and magnesium, Mg, okay, iron and magnesium, or Fe, Mg. Now, the third layer we are studying is known as, okay, Barys, barosphere, okay. The barosphere is known as the core. It's known as the core. Okay, the central part of the earth. You can look in the figure also where you find the core. It is the innermost part of the earth. Below the mantle, around the center of the earth, in the middle of the earth, lies the core. The depth of the core is 2900 kilometers. So the depth of the core is 2900 kilometers. And is composed of nickel, okay. Now, nickel, as you can see, is, okay, used for making, okay, 5-cent coins, okay. Nickel, okay, nickel means Ni. The valency is Ni. Nickel is found, as well as iron is found in this, okay, layer. Therefore, it is also known as the layer called Nephi. It is also known as a layer called Nephi. Now, the last point that we have to understand in this, okay, interior of the earth is known as mantle. Not mantle, magma, sorry, okay. The temperature, I am writing on the blackboard, the temperature increases, okay, at the rate of 1 degree Celsius for every, okay, 32 meters as we go down below the earth. Now let's take, for example, this is the earth. This is the crust. Okay, this lies the mantle, M-A-N-T-L-E, mantle, and this lies the core. Now, if I am standing here and if I am moving below the earth, okay, if I am moving below the earth, not climbing but going down, the temperature increases at the rate of 1 degree Celsius for every 32 meters as we go down below the earth. So the temperature will increase when I am going down the earth. So here you can understand the degree of hotness that you'll feel as you descend towards the inner part of the earth. So therefore, at a certain depth, the rocks are found in a molten state. M-O-L-T-E-N, molten state. The rocks are found in a molten state at a certain depth. So at a certain depth means here it is found at a molten state. In the mantle, the second core of the earth, you find the rocks are melted. And this is known as molten magma or lava. So what I want to tell you is, you don't find rocks only outside the surface of the earth. You find rocks are the foundation or the parent rocks which are found inside the earth also. These rocks are the reason why we get mountains, etc. Why we get plateaus, etc. Plains, etc. As well as why we are able to do agriculture, because soil is formed from the minerals that is found in the rocks. So fertile soil means, okay, fertile minerals that we have got from the rocks, which are basically weathered and eroded due to agents of denudation. Now, the third point in this chapter that we are going to study is the rocks. You find rocks not only outside the surface of the rocks, but also inside. And inside rocks are sometimes molten in a molten state also. Now, I'm rubbing the blackboard. Now we are doing rocks. Now, number 3 is rocks, R-O-C-K-S, rocks. Rocks play an important part in geography. Now, geography means study of physical features of the earth, atmosphere, as well as human activity, as well as population and resources, as well as land or soil, etc. So, rocks play an important part in geography in making the physical features, as well as in the atmospheric conditions, as well as human activity are dependent on rocks, like building houses, etc., as well as population is basically living on the rocks, as well as resources. Rocks provide various minerals for building materials of houses, etc., as well as land. Land is also supported by the rocks because the soil is made from the rocks. Rocks make up most of the solid material of the lithosphere. So rocks are found on the crust. The substance of which rocks are made of are called minerals. So rocks are made of minerals, minerals. Now, I'm not talking about food minerals, okay? I'm talking of the minerals that is found in the rocks, that is known as ORES, O's. Okay? Thus, rocks are AGGRE, okay, aggregate, okay? Aggregates of minerals. So, minerals, minerals. Now, aggregates of minerals means what? It is the sum total of many minerals. It is the sum total of many minerals. Rocks are the aggregates of minerals means it's the sum total of all the minerals that is found in the rocks and have no definite chemical composition. So this is the definition of rocks. Rocks are aggregates of minerals and have no definite chemical compositions. Now, same rocks or same kind of minerals have same chemical composition or formula. But different minerals have different chemical compositions. So this line means have no definite chemical composition means different minerals have different chemical compositions. Minerals are naturally occurring inorganic substances. They are also called, minerals are basically, I'm putting a, arrow here for the minerals only, Minerals are, naturally occurring inorganic substances. Inorganic. Inorganic, inorganic, inorganic substances. Now, what does inorganic substances mean? It means, it lacks the property of living organisms. It lacks the property of living organisms. So, rocks has minerals and these minerals are not living organisms. And the combination of minerals is unique for each rock. Each rock has different, combination of minerals. And thus, each rock, differs in its texture. Each rock differs in its texture. Texture, texture. Now, whenever I'm talking about the texture, the feel of the surface. Now, whenever you are touching a cloth, okay, what kind of cloth it is? The feel. By the feel only, you can differentiate a cloth. Likewise only, you can also differentiate a rock by its texture. The color. The color means visual, okay, what we call attributes. Okay, what color does that rock have? It might be black or carbon rich, okay? And hardness. Some rocks are hard, some rocks are basically soft. So hardness, okay, as well as mode of occurrence, mode of existence, as well as composition and composition. Composition means property. Property of a metal, okay, not property of a metal, property of a mineral, okay, made up of what kind of minerals are these rocks. So each have their own definite compositions. They are, okay, different from each other. Some rocks contain metals in large quantities. So the rocks which have metallic, okay, base or foundation, okay, what we call in large quantity, okay, which can, okay, are known as metallic minerals, okay, which can be extracted, okay, economically, okay, which can be separate from a metal to an ore by mining, okay. Economically means by the occupation called mining. Such rocks are called ores, okay. These rocks are also known as iron ores, okay. Ores are also called iron ores. So, from a metal, okay, ore is extracted, okay. Rocks form the basis of soil. So, from the rocks we get soil, okay, because from the rocks only we get minerals, and these minerals are make the soil very, very fertile, and also determine the nature of landforms. According to the origin, according to the beginning or root or source, rocks may be classified as igneous rocks, sedimentary rocks, and metamorphic rocks. This, okay, igneous rocks, metamorphic rocks, and sedimentary rocks I will basically continue in the next class. Okay, hope you find this lesson useful. Thank you for listening. Have a good day.